Hey, this is Angela Brooks, and I just finished a training with a friend of mine that just nailed it down to the most simple strategies that people are having here online. And I just wanted to jump on here and share some of my notes with you. I've got some here and I've got notes over here. So I'm going to share those with you because I think this is the average person's problem, if you want to call it a problem. I think most people have it backwards on how they think that this online deal should work. And if you've never followed me, this is the first time you're seeing a video of me, go to angelabrook.com. You can learn more about me on the About section. I've been doing the online world for 2 decades, and I have seen a lot of shifting and changing. I've seen what works, what doesn't work. And there's some things here in the last year, actually, that used to work like a charm that all of a sudden just whoop, went away. And it was just like a ghost disappeared and it went silent. And it's like, okay, so we've got to refigure out how to make this work. And you know, everybody is looking for the strategy when most of the time the biggest problem that I have found is that people just don't show up. And so they're going, I can't figure it out. So they sit back and they think they're going to find the right niche, the right color pattern for their blog, or they're going to find the dialed in person that they're going to talk to. And so they don't have any conversations until, oh, there's a spider, hello, until they figure it all out, which is the worst thing that you can do, because as you figure things out and you share your journey, that is what gets people's attention. As a matter of fact, I got a wonderful message from a guy earlier in the week, and it came at just an exact perfect timing for me. I needed it this week. He has followed me since 2012, and he has watched my journey. And this is what he said in his message. I posted it in my stories if you follow me there. But he has followed my entire journey. He is a fellow nurse as well. And it was like, wow, this person followed me through the absolute worst part of what I called worst part. It's not. He followed me through my journey and where I was struggling and where I was trying to figure things out, where I was learning stuff. And I just kept posting, and I'm still posting today, just like I did back then. The following is better, way better than it was back then, because I would get excited over 5 people commenting, and now it can be hundreds for a post. But one of the things that, let me read you some of my notes that I took. Like I said, most people have a strategy. They think they have a strategy problem, but what I have found out with coaching, with building my own team, with being on social media, connecting to people, listening to conversations, the real problem is rarely the lack of strategy. You know who and what you want to talk about, and it's not your product, which most people get really bent out of shape over that. But what most people lack in this industry of building anything using social media is execution and implementation. Those 2 things. I had a coaching client call me last week. We had a really good half-hour call. Gave them an assignment. Hey, this is what you need to work on this week. They're going, well, I can't talk to you next week because we'll be out of town. No problem. I'll catch you up. So Friday is when we were supposed to do a catch up. They had done nothing. They went on their trip and they never thought anything else about the assignment, which was something that was as easy traveling a strategy. It wasn't even something that took a lot of time. They were already traveling and it was perfect for them to use. So they did nothing. And it's so what will end up happening is people will reach out to courses and products and coaches and events, and they'll learn all this stuff, but they won't implement it. And the first thing that they'll say is that course, program, person, coach doesn't work, when actually the mirror is flipped and it's them who's not doing the work. So entrepreneurs are they're really placing a lot of emphasis on building a strategy, which you need to have, but your action movements is going to take you much further than building a blueprint strategy. I would love to say that that was absolutely the tool that you need. Execution, implementation, and consistency will take you miles down the road. And there's 4 things. You know, a lot of people struggle with content. They're going, I can't think of anything to write. I get it. It comes over time. And as you do content, especially on social media, you're following the lead of the people who are commenting on your post. That gives you more ideas of what you can comment or write in a social post, because then you can take the words that they used in their post and reiterate it into a content post. And they're going, oh my gosh, it's like she's reading my mind. You know, that was something that Ray Higdon taught us a long time ago, almost 7 years ago now, and it still works. When you're taking people's exact words that they used in, you know, some of your posts, answering some of your own content, and then you take that idea and flip it into an information post, you're talking to your ideal customer, your ideal client. You're not going to see a lot of pictures and posts about the network marketing company that I work with, because that doesn't resonate with people. I will drop those every now and then just to see if it attracts anybody, and usually I get zero engagement on my Facebook. But I can do that in stories, and I get people asking questions. I can do that on LinkedIn, and I'll get a few, because it's a business center, and Facebook is more of a connection engagement. But yeah, you're commenting, your content is you sharing what you're learning and how you're learning it. And people are going, oh, so that's what she did. And so they keep following you. Here's 4 pieces that I want to give you. I wrote this down in a training that I had this morning. And it was the way that it was stated is like, this is what we've used forever. And there's 4 pieces to a single piece of content, whether it's a blog post, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever piece of content that you're using, you need these 4 things. So grab you a pen, write these down. One of them is the hook. The hook is what most people watch videos, even short stories, with the volume off. I know I do. And if it really intrigues me, then I'll hit the unmute button and listen to it. And you can also add scrolling words, you know, as you're talking. But the hook is what's going to make people watch the entire video. The hook is what's going to make people unmute. And the hook is what is going to make them watch your next story as well. The second piece is you're going to agitate the problem. And I don't mean agitate as in start an argument. I mean, you can if you're that kind of person. Some people do well with that. I've got a friend of mine, she does all kinds of agitation, and it works for her and her personality, but not everybody wants to deal with the type of content that comes with that. So your hook, your agitation to the product, the problem, you're going to make a post that's going to make somebody go, I've done that, or wow, I haven't thought about that. And that's what makes them come on into your post. The third one is the solution. If you talk about a problem, you need to have the solution, because everybody has problems. What they want to know is how to fix it. So if you have the problem and the solution, they're leaning into your content to see what you have to say. The fourth one is call to action. And this is, I would say 99% of the time, people who make posts, they have no call to action. You know, something as simple as, if you agree with this post, give me a thumbs up. If you agree with this post, you know, drop something. And that sounds old school, but it still works. And if you're not, or you can say, hey, I'm going to drop a link down in the comments, because if you put a comment in Facebook, in the actual post, they pretty much don't give you any traffic. On LinkedIn, I can put a link in the actual post, and people will be able to see it. But it depends on what platform. TikTok is pretty much a link in the bio type thing. I'm not a TikToker. I never have liked the platform. Personal preference, you do you. Instagram, you have links in the bio. And anybody who is on these different platforms, they know where to go look to find more information about you or look for more details of what you just talked about. So those are my 4 pieces of content: the hook, agitate the problem, present a solution, and then a call to action. Those are the 4 hooks that as you learn that and you're putting it in your content, you're going to see a large jump in the engagement that you have on social media. That's all I have for you. I just thought of you as I was listening to that training, and I wanted to bring that to you. So if you're not on the newsletter, I'm dropping this stuff out in the newsletter all the time. You can find it somewhere here. Got a question? You got a comment? Drop it in the comment box below. That is my call to action to you, and y'all have an amazing day.